History of Western music, the Grout Poliska classic, takes you from ancient Greece and Rome all the way through World War I. Great listening examples, great music examples, very topical, and has the context for the Western canon. Here's a classic, Harmony and Voice Leading with the Aldwell Schachter. What's great about this book is every topic that they want to review has a real-life example, so everything is drawn from the canon. If you want to talk about chromaticized basses, then you need to reference that in the literature to be not only respectful, but to not have hypothetical academic situations. So it's quite practical text. Next up, Paul Hindemith's Elementary Training for Musicians. What's great about this is we've got some really stellar left and right hand rhythmic examples. I've also got some more elaborate Debussy, which is just fantastic for counting and getting used to some things that look a little scary. Next up is a classic, Counterpoint and Composition, the Salzer Schachter. Takes you through your species and counterpoint with copious examples, but what's very interesting here is how the text moves onto counterpoint and composition, where you're able to see contrapuntal practices used in real pieces from the era, and it really shows how applicable the strategies are. It has the extra bonus of all the Schenkerian, which you can use or not use. Another gem, the Choralbuch, basically classic hymns, German text, but what's most useful for these is understanding classic tonicizations, ear training, and dictation. Very block chords, very simple, very clear contrapuntal outlines. In addition to this text, the Bona, which is more of a vocalese, is quite useful. Here, the Dandilo Manual Pratique really goes over each clef and instructs the basics on how to derive your familiarity with the movable do, whether it's in all the clefs, and then it gives you your breakdowns, which are repeated, so that you can build that comfortability in reading. Quite extensive, and here's a really useful, you can see the landmarks, they give you those, the guiding structure. Wouldn't be complete without our Modus Novus. Modus Novus are studies in reading atonal melodies, and it's more of the same, but as you can see, it's just going to give you all sorts of curveballs and interesting intervallic choices. Here's a nice trifecta of orchestration text. The piston is pretty indispensable, just gives you some really concrete examples per instrument, great examples from the literature, fundamentals on performance practice. Of course, you've got the Russians gave it a try, and then you've got the Berlioz and Strauss text, which is really useful for larger scores, for reading and color, and some of the more full orchestral examples that are in here definitely are more thorough than piston and give you some more practical extractions.